All right. So definitely not the result we wanted last time around, but the Super Eagles will have to forget about that real quick and focus on the next order of business. Now that happens to be another friendly match that takes place in less than 24 hours, and it will start with Jose Peseiro's team missing not one but two key players. Before we get into more details, please don't forget to like this video. Let's try to get it to 200 likes on this one, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much. So yeah, Nigeria will face Mozambique tomorrow, Monday the 16th of October, 4 p.m. Nigerian time to start, and the game will be hosted at the Estadio Municipal de Albufeira in Portugal. Now, Super Sports showed the last match against Saudi Arabia, so I'm guessing they're going to be showing this one for those who stay in Nigeria. You can also try to catch it on Facebook. You can just type in Nigeria versus Mozambique live and see what it does for you. Now, when it comes to Mozambique, they're ranked 113th in the world. Now, for me, I don't put too much stock in that kind of thing, the rankings and such, because at the end of the day, it's 11 on 11. If you're not going to play better than them on the day, they're going to beat you. And if they don't play better than us on the day, we're going to beat them. So that ranking, yes, it looks good when you're high, or it looks bad when you're low, but it really doesn't mean much once the game starts. And speaking of games, Mozambique will be at the upcoming AFCON for the first time in 13 years. They qualified from a group consisting of Senegal, Benin Republic, and Rwanda. They finished second in that group, 10 points out of 18. Now, outside of that, Mozambique actually played a friendly match on the same day we played against Saudi Arabia. They played against Angola at the stadium that we're playing this match at. It ended in a 1-1 draw. I believe Mozambique took the lead at first, then Angola equalized later on in the game. Now, when it comes to the Super Eagles, like I said earlier in the video, they will be missing two key players in this match, and those players will be Victor Osimhen and Kelechi Iheanacho. Victor Osimhen, we saw him get subbed in the match against Saudi Arabia. Now, the coach told reporters that Victor was going to get the injury checked out, so I'm guessing that's with the club, and that would mean that the club is going to later on put out the reports of whatever is wrong with him. Whatever injury it is, I believe the club will then let the world or the public know what the injury is. So right now, we don't know really what it is. I'm not going to speculate on how he's injured or what injury it is, but we do know he's no longer in camp. Now, Kelechi Iheanacho, according to the Football Federation, it's about personal issues, so wishing him the best on whatever situation it is. He's no longer going to be in camp. Then, of course, the elephant in the room, Francis Uzoho. We saw the mistake against Saudi Arabia. Really shocking situation right there. I mean, he goes up, punches the ball, and it just bounces downwards and into the back of the net. I really don't understand how that happened. Just a crazy situation. Jose Peseiro had a comment on the situation, or the goalkeeping situation. A reporter asked him about it, and he came to the defense of his player. So I'm going to play the clip of the coach being asked the question and his response, and then we're going to come back to some more commentary on the situation.
A lot of Nigerians are of the opinion that we need to do better in the goalkeeping area. Do you agree with this?
Our players, I like them. When they do mistakes, it's my responsibility. Because in Nigeria, I don't know if in Nigeria can provocate that situation. Because the goalkeepers never play free, never play tranquility. Because the people, I don't know why, attack the goalkeeper every time. Why don't attack the strikers when they lose the ball or lose the goal? Why? Every time when I arrive here, I remember, attack the striker. Okay, change the goalkeeper because he did it. And the goalkeeper don't feel comfortable. I arrive here, I spoke with them, all of them. No one feel comfortable because everybody attack them. Okay, could do mistake, is my responsibility. The next time I need to train better him.
So yeah, as you heard right there, the coach came to the defense of his player. he kind of said that the fans are keeping the players on the edge. He says players are so scared to be in goal for Nigeria that they know that whenever they make a mistake, people are basically going to call for their heads. And he also asks why people don't criticize the other players in the other positions like they do the goalkeepers. Now, first of all, I feel like it must be said that most times in situations like this, the coach is always going to come to the defense of his player. He's not going to just throw his players under the bus in a situation like this. First of all, he said the goalkeepers are basically scared, and I feel like it comes down to the high-profile errors that they've made already. They know that the fans are on the edge with them. They're basically on the edge when they're in goal because they have the mistakes in their mind. These are high-profile, like the one with Madakawa Okoye against Tunisia in the AFCON. You go home. Then you got Francis Uzoho's mistake. You don't go to the World Cup. These are high consequences for mistakes. Players make mistakes all day, and you don't even think about it when the game is over because it has no bearing. But for you to make a mistake like that costs your team, you got to understand these guys are also human. So they're going to also be on the edge just thinking about the fact that, hey, if I make another mistake, my career basically for the national team could be over. So that point is a point for both parties. I feel like, yes, the coach is right, but also you have to also see where the fans are coming from, that these players have made mistakes and they're kind of also on the edge. You can't really too much blame them. They're giving you a chance to stay in the team, which is not their option. It's the coach's choice. But in their minds, they're giving you a chance to stay in the team, so you just can't mess it up. Then the second part where he said they don't blame other positions, I feel like that's right, but that's wrong. I feel like in this situation, they're not blaming other positions, but in other situations, they blame other positions. You go to the match against Argentina, we conceded goals in that match, but nobody was talking about the goals we conceded. It was all about Odion Ighalo. You even go to the 2010 World Cup when people are talking about Yakubu. Vincent Nyema had a poor goal that he conceded in that match, and people would never talk about that because the whole moment was taken over by the Yakubu miss. So that's just how it is. Even Victor Osimhen, he has his matches that he has big misses, and nobody talks about it because you worried about some other player. You're not really looking at the full team sometimes. And I feel like it's almost like a scapegoat type situation. You always have your scapegoat whenever something happens. But that being said, I feel like when it comes to the coach, my big issue with him was the way the Super Eagles ended the match, the substitutions at the end, and also the fact that we just kept on playing. We were just playing like this a secondary school game or something like that, because you have a match won 2-1. It's time to calm things down, take the ball to the corner flag, those type of stuff, win fouls, do some things that are going to keep you in the game and not put you in a position like you ended up being when the match ended. And I feel like the coach also has a hand in that because they were just running up and down. He's not calming things down. He's not giving them those type of instructions. And I feel like this is kind of a red flag for me personally because, coach, you did not take Saudi Arabia to the World Cup because of a situation like this, not closing out matches. You had the game won, 2-1. Your job was to win the match at that point. It's not to try new players. It's not to try new tactics. You have to win this match because you saw what happened. Goalkeeper mistake. The team showed character to come back and win it or be up by 2-1. So you have to do your job and close out that match. And I felt like the coach didn't do that. That's just facts. I'm not trying to put him down. I like the coach. My opinion is a good coach. But right there, I feel like that's something that he needs to work on going forward with this team. You don't just go out like that. You should not be leading in a match and end up giving up a goal like that. You should not be in that position. You should be holding the ball. You should be going to the corner flags. You shouldn't be trying to attack when the match is like 2 or 3 minutes left. So that's kind of, crazy for me right there. Now, outside of that, there were a lot of good things that I took away from this match. I felt like we attacked real good, especially in the first half. I felt like we spent less time on the ball. It was quick touches. We got forward real quick. Everybody with pace and purpose. Just our finishing not good enough on the day. We definitely left a lot of goals out there, but like I said earlier, definitely love the resilience and character to pull back and actually turn the game on its head. They did a great job right there. At some point I was looking lost. They were down by a goal to nil. I'm thinking, was it too late? Will they lose by a goal to nil? Can they at least get it to 1-1? They then got it to 1-0, and not only that, they made it 2-1. So you definitely have to give them credit. And this is why I was kind of disappointed with the coach, because he missed the opportunity to build on something. You go back to the match against Sierra Leone, they bring it back to 2-2. We get the win at the end of the match. Then you could have added this moment to it, and all of a sudden you're building a culture and a reputation of a team that never gives up until the last moment. Now, when it comes to the Super Eagles winless run, I've been seeing a couple of people put out there that it's like 15 or 14 games that the Super Eagles have gone winless in friendly matches. And yeah, that is kind of true, and you can't say that, because the Super Eagles have also played Mexico, lost by 4-0, played Costa Rica, lost by 2-0, and the Super Eagles A played the Algerian B side, and that game ended in a 2-2 draw. So you can add those 3 games and say the Super Eagles are on a 15-match winless run, and wouldn't be wrong. But these are not the same players that played in those matches. That was Super Eagles B, and this is Super Eagles A. I don't know why they just bunch them all together. But that being said, 13, 12, 11, anything around that number is already ridiculously high. So saying that it's 15 instead of 12 doesn't really do anything. It's still a crazy record to have. The Super Eagles do need to get a win as soon as possible. They ended the 4 friendly match losing streak, but hopefully they can get a win when they play against Mozambique. Now, in the preview for the last match against Saudi Arabia, I had done a lineup prediction, and I got like 3 or 4 players wrong in that one. So I'm going to do it again in this one. And by the way, the players I got wrong actually came into the game and changed the game when you talk about Bright, Osai Samuel, and Kelechi Iheanacho. So I'm just putting that out there, coach. You need to be listening. Well, in goal, I think the coach is going to go with Francis Uzoho. I believe he's going to show confidence in his number 1. I know a lot of people won't like that, but luckily for the coach at Francis Uzoho, the match is in Portugal, not in Nigeria. So we just going to have to be shouting at our TVs, and nobody's going to be hearing us because they're all the way in Portugal. Well, we got some fans in Portugal, so maybe they make some signs, but then you don't want to put the goalkeeper off and end up losing the match worse than you should have been losing it. So that definitely is one. At right back, I'm going to go with Bright Osai Samuel like I went last time. For left back, Bruno Yamaichi, I think, will keep a spot. Then at the central defender's position, Shemi Ajayi, Calvin Bassey, I felt like they did a great job in the last game. In midfield, Iwobi and Ndidi. Iwobi came out early in the game. Not that early, but did come out of the game. Wilfred Ndidi, did he come out? I don't think so. But yeah, those 2 players I believe will be in the pairing for the 4-4-2, which the coach has said he's not going away from. So we just gonna have to try to work with it. At the right and left, I would go with Simon Moses starting in this game, and maybe you have Dele Bashiru on the other side. That's just a wild guess right there. Don't know if that's possible. Actually, it is possible, but don't know if the coach will be doing like that. I'm not thinking as the coach when I say that one. For the 2 strikers, of course, Victor Osimhen is not there. And another reason why I feel like Dele Bashiru is because you got Kelechi Iheanacho injured, who I felt would have done well there. You can't give Samuel Chukwueze another opportunity. I don't think he was that bad in my opinion. So that goes right there for the two strikers, Victor Boniface, Terran Murphy. I think those are the two guys. I don't think there's an argument with that one right there. Terran Murphy did a great job when he came into the game. Victor Boniface also did a great job, especially taking responsibility when Victor Osimhen went out. So I think those two right there. And hopefully the Super Eagles win the game. Let me know your predictions. Put them in the comment section. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.